I think the benefits of relying on clean energy are many. Of course, one of the most important is environmental. I think so many of us know that we're facing a growing crisis when it comes to climate change, and that's an issue that affects every single one of us, affects all of us right here in Westchester and in our communities. And we need to all take steps to mitigate that for the sake of our children and grandchildren. I think too, when we are able to move our communities and our state and our country to a clean energy economy, that is going to be a terrific way to boost the economy and to create really good new green jobs. So I think those are two of the most important benefits. Our Borough Council did unanimously pass a Ready for 100 resolution here in the borough, specifically to go to 100% clean electricity by 2035 and 100% clean energy for transportation and heating by 2050. And we are one of many localities here in this region of the state who have done so. I believe we might have been second in the state. And since then, many of us have worked to get our municipalities that surround the borough together into a singular group. And we have hired a company to write a clean energy transition plan for our entire Westchester region. So we are working on a multi-municipal level to achieve these clean energy goals. So back in 2015, I led a charge to pass a community environmental bill of rights here in the borough, which reclaimed our right to clean air, pure water, and a sustainable energy future, and essentially prohibits transportation, gas pipeline infrastructure from being constructed in the borough itself. And that was a ballot referendum that passed with 73% of the vote. A lot of the locality's ability to achieve these goals will depend on passage of certain legislative packages at the state level. It's really hard to make this transition because right now you flip on the light switch and, unless you have a power outage, you get energy, you get your lights. And we kind of take that for granted. And so therefore, energy is really not top of mind. I mean, we all have so much to deal with these days. Mm-hmm. Many people are looking for work, worried about our children and how they're going to be educated, and the list just goes on and on. So the thing that I would love from the public is to see this for what it is, which is an emergency, and to demand action. Because if that were to happen, I believe we'd see things happen much more rapidly at the state and the federal level.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Our voices are much more powerful than I think we realize.
True.
Nature is my place where I go to restore myself. It is my spiritual place. It is so important to me, and that's where my personal motivation comes from. To see it being destroyed is very difficult for me. On another personal level, I have two children. I have two boys. They're now 22 and 18. But when they were very young, I started a group called Moms for the Future, and we worked to make our public school system greener and more sustainable. So for me and for many other people, it's about our children. I think the people in the borough are aware. I actually think that's one of the reasons why I was elected to be mayor, and that's one of the reasons why I believe I remain fairly popular here in Westchester. The environment is really important to people here. We have a large group of citizens called Don't Spray Me, the Westchester Green Team, working on local environmental issues. And so I do think in the borough in particular, it's an extremely important issue. If we could join our voices together, we could be even more powerful than we currently are. We tend to be kind of regionalized in our efforts, I think, or very localized, I should say. Professionally, I'm an energy efficiency and renewable energy consultant, and we have these incredible case studies. We do a lot of energy efficiency work in existing buildings, and we have case studies to show that you can take out an energy efficiency loan, and there are energy efficiency loan programs that have very low interest rates. And through the upgrades, you can save more money on your utility bill than you pay out in your loan payment every month. So it can become an immediate net positive proposition. I mean, what greater opportunity is there for a company? So I love to show these examples to people because it shows that you can do deep energy efficiency work at virtually no cost to the company. I go to the university on a routine basis, and I speak with lots of students in all kinds of different disciplines, sometimes communications classes and all types of other classes. And I wrap energy into the discussions, and I talk about what we've done in our local community. And so on that level, in terms of engagement and discussion and education, we do definitely work together. I just have to say that I've been really impressed with what the university has done, particularly with this geothermal installation. They have greatly reduced their environmental footprint by decommissioning that little power plant that used to be on the campus and go with almost 100% geothermal electricity. So I honor them and celebrate them for doing that. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, we've done a lot of great, a lot of people making a small change makes a change.
Absolutely. You said it better than I could have.
And especially there's a lot of people at Westchester.
Yeah.
10 years from now, what do you hope that the borough of Westchester and Chester County will be like?
Well, let's see, 10 years from now, I would hope that we would be 100% clean energy. That's, 5 years sooner than the goal. Mm-hmm. But I don't see why we couldn't do that. I think that the next 10 years are going to be pivotal when it comes to this issue. So I would like to see us on 100% clean energy. I'd like to see us all driving clean energy cars like EVs that run off of truly clean energy and not, dirty energy from the power plant. I think if we were to have accomplished that step in 10 years, we will be making a huge difference toward our goal. We have an amazing committee to restore rail service to Westchester, and they have been working for quite some time on this project. As you might guess, it's a very heavy lift because it requires substantial public funding through our, public institutions, SEPTA, PennDOT, so forth, which are probably underfunded to begin with and have a lot of projects on their plate and a lot of priorities. But the committee has come a long way, and I believe they're moving toward doing an environmental and a structural assessment of the tracks, because those tracks will require a whole lot of work. There's some bridges, some infrastructure that needs to be worked on. But I'm a huge proponent of that. I think that would be fantastic because, when you talk about the university, students would be able to come in on the train. We might help alleviate those parking issues that everybody, but I think it would benefit Cheney because Cheney would be on that stop as well. And you could go from Westchester into the city without a car. I think it would,
that'll alleviate so many, or eliminate so many barriers that people have, whether it's like if you have a job at Westchester or to get higher education, like because Westchester and Cheney are both state schools, but if you can't get there, then so
Right.
that would be great for so many reasons.
Yeah.
But
One thing I've learned in my profession is that we can begin to move toward clean renewable energy whenever we do a project in our homes. For example, if you have a boiler that heats the water to heat your home and it's on its last legs and you're told you need a new one, that is an opportunity. That is an opportunity to move toward highly efficient equipment. It's an opportunity to move toward electrified equipment, because if you think about it, if we move from natural gas fueled equipment to electrified equipment, that's going to help us in the future when we go to 100% clean energy, because the best way to do that is through the electricity system. We call that electrification. We can begin to electrify our homes. We can, anytime that we have to invest anyway, we might as well do the right thing and invest in high efficiency electrical based equipment. That is kind of a common sense step that we can all take. And that's true too for big commercial businesses. When they find they need to renovate or they have to replace their HVAC every 20, 25 years or so, that's an opportunity. That's an opportunity to do these projects that I referred to earlier, where you can take out a low interest energy efficiency loan. You can do a really deep upgrade and it could basically be cost neutral. Or you might even make money because your savings on your bill could be greater than the cost on a monthly basis. One thing I find, being, again, a consultant, is that in many of these buildings, we have control systems that control the computers, they control the lights, they control the HVAC systems. If these control systems aren't properly programmed and properly set, they can consume more energy than they save. We go in all the time to these facilities and we evaluate control systems and we make changes through the computer, control changes, and we can save huge amounts of energy. I'm talking significant. And it's sometimes virtually cost-free because you're simply making changes to a system that you already have. So control systems are hugely important, and the control of the control system is absolutely essential, and it's an overlooked area that people don't realize. It's a gold mine for energy savings, something we can all do right away.